we call the meeting to order. So just a reminder, it's best practices on Zoom. It's better if you keep yourself muted until you go to say something. And then also it's, just be particularly diligent to not crosstalk because it's really hard to understand. So if Miss Tiana, Rich has a flag in the background there. Would you be willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, I do not mind.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
We can hear you.
I can't hear anyone.
Oh,
All right, well, hang on, Tiana. You can't, my lips are moving, but you can't hear me. Is that what you're
I
saying?
can't hear anyone.
Try unplugging your earphones and see. Oh, let's send him a message. He can't hear me.
Power on. Bluetooth connected.
Can you hear me now? Nope, I'm
No.
talking. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and proceed, and then you just keep. If he can't hear me, he can't hear me. Oh my goodness. We'll go ahead and proceed, and if you can figure it out, please join in. All right. Tiana, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Sure thing. So everyone, please place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
God, indivisible,
with liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
for all. Thank you, ma'am. All right, next item is a roll call. Ms. Jessica, if you could give us a roll call. Can you hear me, Jessica?
Sorry, yes, I was typing to Rich, trying to explain to him where to turn his audio on.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so Commissioner Reagan,
I'm here.
Commissioner Arriaga,
I'm here.
Commissioner Benito. Joe, I know you're down there somewhere. Well, we know Joe's here. Commissioner Ames, who can't hear me, and Commissioner Mayer.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Everyone's here.
Excellent. And so let the record show that we're having some audio trouble, particularly with Rich. Joe, you're unfrozen, right, Joe? You're really there?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Approval of the minutes. We have minutes from our last meeting in the packet. I presume everyone's had a chance to review those. So who would like their name in next month's minutes first?
I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
There's a motion. Anybody second it?
I will second it.
Any discussion? Symbol of a thumbs up. Well, we can't do that because Tiana and Meredith aren't there. All those in favor say aye.
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 4 of us. And there's a fifth. Any objections? No. Motion passes. Next item on our agenda, it's called oral communications. This is a part of the meeting where the public can speak to us commissioners about any topic that's not on the agenda. So do we have any members of the public? It looks like Lex Luker is here.
I am, yeah.
Would you like to share any thoughts about Planning and the City of Eureka.
If I may jump in, Jeff, Chairman Reagan, he's
Yeah.
here for one of the items, for the next item.
Okay, all right. So no one else is on. We'll close this portion, oral communications, and we'll move to public hearings. The first one is the Lucre use permit and coastal development permit. And Caitlin, you have a staff report on that one, right?
Chairman Reagan, excuse me, just for the record, we've lost Commissioner Ames.
Okay. Thanks. So Caitlin, why don't you give us the staff report?
Sure. So first, I just want to say hello to all the commissioners. I know I'm probably a new face. I have been with the city for about 6 months now. I was supposed to present to you in early March, but I got the nasty cold that was going around, but it wasn't COVID. So I wasn't able to present until now. So really happy to be here and just here I am. Okay, so good evening, planning commissioners. Like I said, my name is Caitlin Castellano. I'm here to present the Lucre project. Let me share my screen. Okay. So we are going to discuss the Lucre Tattoo use permit and coastal development permit located at 214 East Street. Let's see, clicking. My first time doing a Zoom commission hearing as well. Okay, so here is the bird's eye view of the project location in context to the city in the red box. Here we are zooming in a little closer. You can see it's in Old Town, pretty close to the waterfront. Here's another view, 3D view. The star is where the location is in a larger building. Here's a street view of it on E Street, and you can see it is vacant. So briefly, the project site information, it's at 214 East Street. It's a street level tenant space within a larger historic mixed use building known as 320 2nd Street. That mixed use building has retail storefronts, offices, and residential on the 2nd floor. It's in the heart of Old Town. It's on the southwest corner of 2nd and East Streets. It's in the waterfront zoning district, and the two main purposes of the waterfront zoning district is to encourage and promote coastal dependent and coastal related uses, as well as encourage development of recreational and visitor serving uses. And the general plan is the core retail commercial, which provides for a variety of uses with an emphasis on visitor serving uses. Get rid of this, it's in my way. Okay, next. So a brief project summary, the applicant does request to operate a tattoo parlor. This use in our coastal zoning code is included in the massage and physical cultural studios use. All conditional uses do require a coastal development permit, excuse me. This permit is not appealable to the Planning Commission. The applicant will obtain a sign permit and design review if needed and after the approval of this project, if it gets approved. And then also the approval is limited to the specific tenant space that was applied for. So it cannot be expanded to any other spaces in that larger mixed use building without a modification to the permit. Additionally, the applicant plans to be the sole tattoo artist at this time, but would like to add 1 or 2 artists in the future. The parlor will operate from 12 to 6 p.m. 7 days a week. The applicant does want to relocate his existing business that's already in the city to this location to be in the regional center for shopping tourism and increase his business. He does plan to participate in the city-sponsored events such as Arts Alive, Friday Night Market, and display his original artwork paintings within his tenant space.
What do you need?
So
What do
some
you
of
need?
the findings, the proposed tattoo parlor use is a visitor serving and resident serving establishment. It will not impact coastal resources. It's about 2 blocks away from the waterfront. It is appropriately located. It's surrounded by other, retail serving uses. There's lots of art galleries. There are destination day spas, a lot of them around. That is principally permitted. Salons, it fits right in. It meets the development standards and it's not a threat to public health and safety. The applicant says the only tenant improvement that he will need to do is adding a sink. So the further analysis of the findings required by our municipal code is in our the staff report that you have received, and all the required findings can be made. And the recommended action and motion is on the screen. And in addition to what's on the screen, I did notice a typo, unfortunately, in my CDP resolution. So if you could update to correct the project case number in the CDP resolution to CDP 20-0006 from CDP 19-006. And this resolution number was correct in the notice as well as the staff report. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions.
Excellent. Do we have any questions from staff for Caitlin?
None from me.
Any other staff, any other counselors or commissioners? Caitlin, I got one. This doesn't look like the first report you prepared. Did you come over to us from the county?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like your first ride in the rodeo. Okay, so we'll close the staff report and we'll open up a public hearing. And it's our custom to let the applicant go first. So Ms. Jessica, I don't know if you want to do hand signals if we go over the 3-minute limit. But Mr. Luker, I understand you're there with us. Would you like to share your thoughts on your proposal here?
Yeah. So I've been operating in this area for, I think, about 4 years now. I've always wanted to be in Old Town and finally found the right spot. So I'm completely professional tattoo artist. There's no riffraff being brought in with me or drama. I'm there to create quality artwork and possibly sell some paintings too. So I'm excited about being there for Arts Alive and the Friday night market. So I think that's about it.
All right. Well, I would encourage you. I noticed in the report it said you plan to
Uh-oh. We didn't hear that.
I lost him.
Yep.
my phone kind of, on my back?
Yes.
Yeah, my phone tried to butt in. Anyway, thanks for coming in and sharing your thoughts. Do we have anybody else in the public that might like to share on this Zoom meeting?
We had no
Okay.
members of the public who indicated that they wish to speak.
Okay, so let's close the public hearing, return the item back to the commission for a motion and discussion and a vote.
I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I move the planning commission adopt the CUP and CDP resolutions to conditionally approve the Luker Tattoo Parlor at 214 East Street, APN 001093004 in the CW Waterfront Commercial Zone District, and correct the project case number in the CDP resolution to CDP 200006 from CDP 190006.
All right, there's a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That was Tiana. So Meredith moved, Tiana seconded. Any discussion about that motion?
Not
Okay,
for me.
Excellent. Caitlin, can you unshare your screen for us?
Yes.
And then Rich, do we get Rich back? There he is. Can you hear us? Okay. Rich says vote fast. Well, wait, we hadn't got to the second yet. You can't vote on that one. So all those in favor of this particular resolution, Luker use permit, either say aye or give me a thumbs up.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Rich is up. I say aye. That's a unanimous approval, 5-0. Congratulations, Mr. Luker. and good luck. Wish you the best. So the next item on our agenda is the
Thank you.
coastal sign. You bet. Coastal sign, text, and local coastal program amendment. Kristen, I think you're in charge of that.
I am, and let me get my screen sharing going here.
Okay.
Cute little celebration.
Wasn't that fun?
So can everybody see the screen?
Yep, you look good.
Okay. So this is the coastal sign text and local coastal program amendment. And it affects the coastal portion of the city of Eureka. And that's shown here in the colored parcels. The city council
Kristen,
adopted
before-
an interim ordinance on September 18th, 2018 to place a
Hey, Kristen?
45-day.
Hang on just a minute. I'm hearing talking. Is Mr. Luker still on the? I don't know who the host is. Can we find out who's talking in the background and mute him?
Actually, I think it's the guy next door to me in my office.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's on the phone.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So council voted to place a 45-day citywide moratorium on applications for digital signs and for off-premise signs in all zone districts, both inland and coastal. That moratorium expired on November 2nd, 2018, and the city council, by a 4/5 vote, extended the interim ordinances for an additional 10 months and 15 days. The inland moratorium ended when the Inland Zoning Code became effective on June 20th, 2019. And then council extended the coastal moratorium on digital and off-premise signs on September 17th, 2019 for 1 additional year. This means it will expire on September 17th, 2020, so in just a little more than a month from now. Although staff continues to work on an update to the local coastal program, it is still being drafted and is not completed yet. And so in the meantime, because the moratorium is expiring, staff is proposing a coastal sign amendment, which will rescind and replace Article 17 of Title 10, Chapter 5, which is also known as the Old Code. With the exception of the addition of standards specific to the CP shopping center zone. Sorry, looks like we're out of order here, but the updates correspond with the coastal implementation plan, and the language from the inland sign code section 15340 has been proposed. The only CP zone district we have is the Bayshore Mall, and the city has an agreement with the mall on how their sign allowances are calculated. Since we're trying to move this forward quickly because the moratorium is expiring, I didn't want to try and revise the procedures or drastically revise the calculations we use for the mall at this time. So the standards that are in the draft ordinance in the CP table 17-1 are basically the limits that currently apply to the Bayshore Mall. Staff did speak with the Coastal Commission staff over the last couple of weeks, and based on those discussions, we did add some modifications to the proposed language, and that was included in the addendum that was sent out to the commission on Friday, and it was also posted on the website. So staff recommends that you adopt a resolution to make the findings to approve the text amendment and forward a recommendation to the City Council to adopt the coastal signs text and local coastal program amendment. And I'm happy to answer any questions that I can.
Do we have any questions for Kristen? Rich, do you have any questions? Can we hear you okay? Not sure if anybody can message
Oh,
Rich.
oh, no. Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can hear you, Joe. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to know, now this is basically the same as what the moratorium was doing. Is that what we're dealing with here, Kristen?
Yes, it's the same as the moratorium was doing in that digital signs are limited. And just like they are in the inland portion of the zoning code. And off-premise signs are not allowed.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought. Okay. Thank you.
So just for clarity's sake, an off-premise, can you give us an example of an off-premise sign?
Well, just for clarification on Commissioner Benino's question, new off-premise signs aren't allowed. There is provisions in here to allow existing off-premise signs to remain. The addendum that we sent out actually allows the ones that are less than 50 square feet in size to continue to be a legal sign after the adoption of this ordinance. The ones that are larger than that, so like billboards, for example, those would become non-conforming signs. An example of an off-premise sign is down at Applebee's on Broadway. There is a little monument sign that's right next to Bayshore Way there, and it points to the Bayshore Mall. So that sign is on the Applebee's property. It's an off-premise sign because it's advertising the Bayshore Mall.
Okay, and so off-premise
Okay.
signs would also include billboards?
Correct.
Okay.
So it's an advertisement for something that's not on the site where the sign is located.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? Okay, so at this point, we still need to open a public hearing, although I don't think there are any members of the public here. Do we have anyone that wants to speak?
There was no one who indicated before the meeting that they wished to speak.
So we will close our public hearing and we will return the item back for a discussion, motion, and a vote. Why, Kristen, is there, I mean, we've got billboards in the city. This code would say all of those, as I understand it, would say all of those become legal non-conforming. Why did we, how did we arrive at the idea that we want no billboards as opposed to, you know, some other type of accommodation?
Because we don't want any new off-premise signs.
So is that something that staff has said? Is that something that's come from the city council?
It's come from the city council, and it also comes in part a little bit from the coastal commission. They are not fans of having any of the billboards in the coastal zone. So a process or a program whereby if they're damaged or destroyed, then they have to be removed, is supported by both council and the coastal commission themselves.
And so what would keep, that seems to provide a perverse motive to folks that perhaps have a personal aesthetic to go and destroy someone else's property, a billboard, knowing that they can't be rebuilt. Is there any accommodation for that?
I think we would look at that
Can you
on a
repeat that, Jeff?
case-by-case basis.
The Joe, just the idea that once a billboard is down, it can't be rebuilt, provides a perverse motive to those that, you know, have a personal preference. In some cases, you know, we've had a history here of folks going out and destroying someone else's billboard, knowing that it can't be rebuilt.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Kristen,
Jeff, I'd say to that, the billboard is worth quite a bit of money. It would probably be a felony to do that, and I don't think anybody would want to really hazard to be caught committing a felony. I think it's not just vandalism when you cut down a billboard. It's basically a felony. So, you know, that they're sticking their neck out, and a jail term is definitely coming their way.
And you are aware that there have been groups that have done that in the past, right, Joe?
Well, right, but not within the city limits, out in the
No.
highway along 101 and stuff where it's lonely and dark. But there's too many cameras out. There's too many people driving around. Someone trying to do that within the city limits would definitely be much more risky than doing it out, near Arcade out in the middle of the safety corridor.
Nonetheless, so Kristen, if I heard your answer correctly, the city would look at an applicant that, if that were to happen, an owner of a billboard could come to the city and say, hey, it didn't fall down, it was destroyed, I want to repair it. And the city would recognize the value, the asset, and would treat that person fairly, correct?
That's correct, yes. If they provided to us, a police report or some other documentation that it was maliciously destroyed, then we could certainly take that into consideration.
Right. Any other questions on this item for Kristen?
None for me.
Okay. Does anyone think this is worthy of a motion?
I'll make a motion. Doesn't sound like anyone can tune in. I'll move the planning commission adopt a resolution making the findings required to approve a text amendment. And I further move we forward a recommendation to city council to adopt the proposed coastal signs text and local coastal program amendment.
Thanks, Meredith. That's a motion. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Oh, go ahead.
I'll give Joe the credit this time and get his
Sounds
name in a
good.
minute. Joe seconded. All right. Any other discussion? Kristen, if you could unshare your screen for us. Rich, can you hear me? Rich cannot hear. Jessica, are you at a position where you could type him a note?
It might be easier if I just call him on the phone if somebody can give me his phone number.
Excellent. Well, and can he call in to our meeting on his phone?
Yes, he can.
So how's the best way to do that? What's our, what is our phone number? Oh, I don't see it in the email.
So if you want to have him call my phone number, I can put him on speakerphone here.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry, I just sent him the one for the council chambers.
That works too.
Either way. Okay, while we're waiting on Rich, Meredith, Tiana, Joe, any thoughts for or against this motion?
Well, I'm definitely, this has been a thing that of course, we went back, last couple, 3 years ago about this. Jeff, you remember when we had a different makeup of the committee, the commission, but I think the citizens I've talked to within the city feel that they are within their rights to prevent Broadway from kind of looking like Times Square or the Las Vegas Strip. A lot of communities, apparently they say about a third of them, at least in California, have outright banned any type of digital sign. So I think we're definitely striking a nice compromise here. And even if you do go to New York City or Las Vegas, you'll notice that the electronic signs aren't allowed in the areas outside of Times Square and basically the Strip. I mean, they don't have them all over the city. So even those cities where they have the most egregious example of digital signage, they have a limitation on it also. So, like I said, I think the citizens I've talked to are in favor of this, and it's a bit of a compromise, but I think that's I think they'll take it.
You articulated my position pretty accurately there. Did we get Rich's? No connection there. All right. I hate to do it, but let's go ahead and have a vote.
Hello?
No other comment?
Wait, Rich is here. Let him
Rich.
speak.
Did you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you. Yay.
Hey!
So do you have any thoughts on this proposal? Yay or nay?
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. I can't hear you,
Oh, I'm sorry.
which is good in some cases.
Hey, Rich, yay or nay?
Watch this. Watch this. Are we voting?
Yes.
Discussing.
Well, if you guys can hear me, why can't I hear you? What? Got it. Got it. Yes. No, I'm in favor.
Okay,
What's that?
with that, let's
See that
vote.
up
All those in favor, either say yes or give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, that's unanimous. 5-0.
Thank you,
Some reason.
everybody.
Yeah, for some reason, Rich, I thought you were against it. Wanted to make sure you got your say. There's no old business, reports and communications. Do we have any of those?
I have nothing for you tonight.
Anybody else?
Nothing for me.
This has been the roughest Zoom meeting I think I've ever been, and I appreciate all of your patience, but we got it done. Any objections to adjournment?
Oh.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a lovely
Thank you,
evening.
everyone.